Hello, everyone, and welcome to a wonderful new thing that we are going to do over here at Speculate. Because we're not working on any series right now, us strange friends. So we decided we'd treat you all with a couple of one shots, and the thing that we decided that we'll do for you on this wonderful month is we're presently going to play a one shot of Boy Problems by Colin Cummings. It's very, very cool. You should check the thing out if you've never seen the thing before. Um, I'm here with my lovely strange friends, as always, about to get into some trouble. Um, but before we all introduce ourselves, a reminder to all of you lovely people in chat that there are multiple ways that you can support this channel and the lovely content that takes place on this channel. By checking out the YouTube channel at exclamation point @RTube, by checking out Greg's own Twitter at exclamation point @tweets, by checking out the shop, which you can find out more information about at exclamation point @shop, and more. And of course, by checking out Speculate, speculateSF.com, exclamation point Speculate for more information about the Patreon, where you can support all of the lovely stuff that we make here and get behind the scenes content of our series, including some very special snippets about the series that we just rapidly concluded very recently, Girl by Moonlight Fractal Fire. Um, and of course, you can also support the Patreon for this channel in particular, exclamation point Arftreon, for more information about how to support this channel in particular and make sure that more cool things can happen here if you want more of your RPG fix. Um, but without further ado, I would like to get into all of the lovely things that all of these cool people are about to do. So I will ask all of these lovely people to please introduce themselves to all of the lovely people in chat by telling everyone who you are and what you do, but not who you're playing just yet. Starting with Mike.
Hey everybody, I'm Mike. I write as Michael R. Underwood. I am one of the three co-hosts of Speculate, along with Brandon and Gregory A. Wilson, aka Arvin Elleron, who hosts the channel that you're watching this on. I last year reissued my debut geeky urban fantasy series, which starts with the book Geekmancy. You can find those wherever good, neutral, and or evil books are sold. There are 3 novels and a novella, so there's a bunch of very fun stuff there for you to enjoy if you like. And I also do a variety of other things. You can find me on Twitter at Mike R. Underwood. They, he pronouns for me. That's it.
Next, Valerie.
Hello, friends. I am Valerie Valdes, she, her pronouns. I am the author of the Chilling Effect trilogy and the forthcoming Where Peace is Lost, which is a planetary romance, space fantasy book with swords and robots and swamps and forests and lots of fun times. So you check that out.
Nice. Next, Jeoi.
Hello, Yoi Gawain Lin, game and fiction writer. I am, alas, not working on anything particularly majestic or upcoming like my predecessors or my successor, who will be introducing themselves quite soon. But they, he pronouns for me, and I shall hopefully get up to some excellent hijinks this evening.
Mm-hmm. And last but not least, Iori.
Iori Kusano. I'm one of those they thems. My debut novella, Hybrid Heart, will be out on 28th March from Neon Hemlock. That can be pre-ordered right now in print and ebook on the Neon and Hemlock website, and after release will be available on Amazon and other things, I think, I hope. I try not to think about the marketing. That's for the publisher. I'm just here to make things. I am required by corporate policy and the FTC to remind you all that I am a wizard of the coast. Don't at me about it. I have no secret sorceries to share with you. Let's play some games.
Indeed. And as for me, I am your humble stage manager this evening, Brandon O'Brien. Pronouns he, him, or they, them. I am a writer, poet, and game designer from Trinidad and Tobago, and one of the co-hosts of Speculate alongside Mike and Greg. My debut poetry collection, Can You Sign My Tentacle, won last year's Elgin Award, and it's very, very cool, so you should definitely check that thing out. But for now, we're about to get into some boy problems. So the scene starts in a city much like any other city in any other part of the world. It is the present day and the present time, except things are more or less a great deal better than they would have been. Hard light technology has made it so that wonderful, uh, accessible technologies that were once not within our grasp have now been very easy for us to access, including but not limited to the very strange and surreal ability to change the physical properties of inwardly confined space, uh, and produce all manner of new revolutionary engineering and green energy technologies that have made living in the world simultaneously easier and cleaner and unnecessarily expensive. But for most people, no one has ever noticed. What everyone seems to have noticed, however, is that Canadian pop sensation Carly Rae Jepsen has not been seen since September of 2022. The So Nice tour was supposed to start in mid-September, and thousands of people showed up to a concert stage in the middle of the United States to meet no lights, no sound, and no answers from anyone present. They said that they saw Carly when they arrived, when they set up, they did sound tests and everything. And then Carly Rae Jepsen told a stagehand that she was going to step outside to buy a bottle of water, even though she could have gotten one backstage. And then no one saw her since. And that's very weird. And it's now February of 2023. And it's obviously much weirder still. And the thing is that when a music sensation disappears off the face of the earth for more than 6 months, all of their fans become so much more intense. Thousands of people are on the internet speculating all kinds of weird stuff. She's been abducted by aliens, or she's hunting aliens, or she just needed to briefly have a conversation with Tupac elsewhere in Cuba about some top secret information before returning, or there is a new album. And the new album is particularly intriguing to a lot of people, obviously, because they know that there are hundreds of songs waiting in a vault somewhere already. And now people are even more excited to hear more about what's on those songs, because maybe there's a clue there somewhere about what that album will sound like, or more importantly, about where Carly is. The four of you, at totally different places, at totally different times, find yourself tagged in a private DM in a forum dedicated only to the loneliest time. Not all of her catalog, just the loneliest time. You get it from a user that is so anonymous that it is just a string of letters and numbers. A user that seems to have been subscribed to the site since 2016, which is impossible because this album came out only when? A couple of years ago? This is kind of weird. But this person knows you by name and asked you by name to go to a coffee shop in Alberta, Canada, and wait for further instructions. It is now a brisk Tuesday morning, as you all slowly walk into the singular glass door of this coffee shop, hoping to see something or someone that will clarify why you are here. Mike, your character gets here first. Who are you?
So into the coffee shop steps someone who is almost too saturated in color. Like, there are colors that can exist on the internet that can't be registered by most human eyes, and somehow this person's clothing is of one of those colors, a pink so intense that it feels like it's coming to you from a glowing screen. So this person is wearing a slightly large but stylishly so pink blazer over a pink bodysuit with pink boots and pink like knuckle duster gloves, and has like luxurious, very thick straight pink hair and like big blocky like 80s almost Miami Vice sunglasses in the same pink, and then like somewhat pale skin behind that. This person you might imagine as like, what if a synthwave YouTube playlist character from like the YouTube playlist cover art stepped out into the world, which is what they did. This is Glitch, who didn't exist 9 months ago, but has existed as a person out in the world in the last several months, and knows of Carly Rae Jepsen because people in the comments talk about her. She is nearly a myth to Glitch. Glitch uses any pronouns, comes in, orders a black coffee, 2 sugars, and sits in the corner.
Okay. Just to qualify, are any of Carly Rae Jepsen's songs part of your corporeal construction?
Is it funnier if the answer is yes or no? And I'm not sure.
There is comedy in either one, to be perfectly fair. Like, it would be emotion. There is a kind of emotional hostility if the only song, if the only song that is a part of you is like, Julian or LA Hallucinations.
I think we should come back to me on that.
Noted. You sit. No one else is here. It's like 10 in the morning. It might be because it's snowing outside, so maybe it's just nobody's paying attention. Or nobody's like walking the street in this weather. Um, but it's just you and one guy behind the counter. And then someone else walks in. Valerie, describe your character.
So my character walks in and is not super noticeable as a rule. She's got sort of ash blonde hair. It's pinned up in a bun. Wearing just subtle makeup, a gray blazer over a navy like wraparound dress, pantyhose. Slightly higher heels than might be appropriate for an office setting, but nothing too outrageous. And that's it. Just strolls in like she's supposed to be there.
Do you sit?
I do.
Uh, the guy at the counter steps away, steps towards you. Hi, good morning. Would you like anything to eat or drink?
Yeah, can I get a sparkling water with a slice of lemon, please? No straw.
Sparkling water, yes. Lemon, no.
Okay
Let me
then.
see what I can do. He looks at you very quizzically and then steps all the way back into the kitchen. And then someone else enters. Jeoi, describe your character.
So something walks in that looks like if a full night of extremely bad decisions had coalesced into a person. And the result of this person was a very, very terrible hangover in the morning, coupled with the most amazing afterglow. This is the person that walks in. It is not entirely clear whether this person is a robot that has had meat slapped on, or if it's a person who has been so extensively modded that they only have some meat left. This is the person who comes in.
Okay. Do you see only two other people in the coffee shop and you don't see any staff? What's the first thing that you do when you get in?
I reach over the counter and turn on the faucet and pour myself a glass of water that I then pour down my front, and then I join them at the table.
Okay. And then finally, Iori, your character arrives.
Something approximately 4 feet tall from the top of the skull down, in full motorcycle leathers, enters the coffee shop. They are still wearing a helmet. The helmet has pointed ears, which add, another 8 to 10 inches of height. So, accounting for ears, this person is just shy of 5 feet. Kithric Cold goes to the counter, sees that there is no one there, and looks for a bell. Is there a
There
bell
is
on the
no bell.
counter?
There is no bell on the counter. On the
Kithric
counter, there
Cold.
is.
Kithric Cold knows human etiquette. Kithric Cold has studied. So they raise their voice through their helmets and shout, "Excuse me? Excuse me? Could I get a tall black coffee with a shot of blueberry syrup?"
The guy at the counter comes back from the kitchen and goes, "Yeah, you can. Wait, what? With
Tall
you
black
want what?
coffee, 1 pump blueberry.
Okay, okay. See where? What? Okay. Um, steps back in the kitchen very briefly. Comes back out with a tall glass of sparkling water, like a highball glass of sparkling water, and places it in front of your character, and then comes back to you, Kethrick, and is looking at you. You have you still have your motorcycle helmet on, and
Yes.
this guy is gazing at the reflection of his face in your helmet and
Yes.
going, "Are you okay?"
I am very well on this beautiful morning. Thank you for asking. How are you? Kithrick knows that it is polite to return the question.
His eyes widen and he goes, "Yeah, I'm good." And then he looks at the other three people in the room and goes, "Yeah, this had to be for y'all, right? Hold on." And steps back into the kitchen. He comes back out of the kitchen with a tablet and places it on the table in front of the three of you. Kithrick, you are free to join if you wish. The
I will
everyone
take
else
my
is already
coffee
seated.
and join everyone at the table. A little hatch opens at the mouth of the helmet, and Kithrick starts drinking their hot, tall black coffee through a straw.
I imagine that's the only way you can do that.
And Glitch might not be able to know for sure because my motorcycle helmet is reflective, but Glitch may feel Kithrick's eyes on them because Kithrick can see shrimp colors. That outfit is not fully saturated pinks. That outfit has some extra colors.
um, on the tablet that is resting on the table, in front of all four of you, there is just one video file on the screen with the text announcement as its title.
I tapped the screen.
You open the video and it brings up a shot of the most claustrophobic apartment you've ever seen in your life. Lit with like sepia toned light, like vaguely dim but overwhelmingly cluttered with stuff. And you can tell because the video is weirdly high definition, that there is just piles of Carly Rae Jepsen paraphernalia in this room. Multiple copies of tour posters literally stapled, cascading on top of each other against one wall. Dozens of vinyls of the Japanese release of Emotion in a cubby to one side, which is also like holding up what seems to be a half-drunk cup of coffee and a half-eaten sandwich. Dozens of like printouts of interviews and like screenshots of YouTube videos of like random billboard red carpet stuff, just like all over the walls and on the bookshelves and cubbies of this room. As a young short-haired woman enters the frame very suddenly from the left-hand side of the shot and goes, "Okay, I don't have a lot of time. I reached out to all of you because I realized from some context clues on your social media posts that you seem to be the folks for the job that I wanted to run. So I'll be brief. Holly Tan, superfan. I know that the vault exists. Good news. The rumors are true and we know exactly where it is. Bad news. The rumors are true and we know where it is. It's actually on Whitney Ryder's train. And I have it on good authority that you all have the skills necessary to get on that train and retrieve it. So here is what. I'm willing to pay you all 1 million credits each to just get it off the train however you need to and get it back to me at coordinates that I will send you in 3 days' time. I trust you all. I don't need to give you any more specifics. Attached to this video, you will immediately be sending yourselves emails of train schematics and other necessary ephemera to get actually on the thing. I know that it's gonna be very annoying. It's Whitney Ryder's train. We know exactly how annoying it can be. But I'm sure that once we do the thing, it'll be well worth all of our whiles. So, yeah, that's the pitch, I guess. Nothing more to tell you. Toodles! And then the video closes. And then the tablet starts to catch fire. The guy, the guy from from behind the counter emerges from the kitchen very suddenly. Smothers the tablet with a large silver pot pulls it off of the table and is kicking it on the floor all the way back into the kitchen, cursing the entire time. You all then get pings on your phone with 50,000 credits. The schematics for the experimental hyperrail system that Whitney Ryder has named the Mr. Me Too. So named because whenever it leaves its first port of call every day, it plays music from the hip-hop duo Clips very loudly on speakers that are attached to the walls, the outer walls of the actual train. It's a very obnoxious train. And a hand-drawn sketch of the physical description of the contents of the Carly Rae Jepsen vault, but no indication of where on the train it might be stored. According to the schematics, there are two things that you do know at this moment. There is the very gentle way of getting on the Mr. Me Too, which is if you meet in Seattle, if you meet at a train station in Seattle for around 11:45 a.m., you can get on as a passenger, but a passenger seat on this train costs 4,400 credits. Or you can essentially attempt to land on the top of this train at any point at any point after it leaves that port of call, either by just like falling on the roof before it gets into a tunnel or sliding into one of the back carriage windows before anyone else can see you. If you want to do this is a thing that you can essentially even tentatively do today if you wanted to just book it back down to the United States in an hour. So you're going in the easy way or the hard way?
I don't think that it would be wise for us to be passengers. We don't want to be reflected in the head count if they want to lock down the train for any reason.
Well, I can handle any security. Physical, that is. If one of y'all can handle the machinery, then maybe we don't need to mind.
I think I should be a passenger. I can get in and get everyone else in.
Ooh-hoo. Let us in through the window of your private carriage?
Naturally. Unless there's a better option.
Kithrick doesn't say it, but they are delighted by how we have all just bought in. Humans are so much fun.
Well, if we've got our way in, then shall we get going?
So
Kithrick
you buy
snip snaps their little mandibles in delight.
mandibles. This is gonna be hilarious. So you buy this ticket under what name?
She would purchase the ticket under the name. Let's see. She already has a bunch of burner names, so let's go with Alma Perez.
Okay. So you all show up at the train station. Alma, you see a very short line for the passenger coaches of this train. This train is weird and obnoxious and annoying. It looks like a bullet train, but it also looks like a skyscraper on its side. It is like the wheels on this train are platinum plated iron, but it also doesn't need wheels to travel. They're just there for decoration. The walls are painted gold and bronze. There is this very long, slim trend of windows going all across the passenger coaches of this train, such that if you wanted to look outside, you really only have an inch and a half of the view outside to do that with. There are these large, obnoxious, conical speakers jutting out of the corners of every carriage, pointing outward. They're not playing anything right now, but that's because they haven't taken off yet. You notice that everyone in front of you are like wealthy businessmen, influencers, models, actresses, and they seem to like you get the impression that they're treating just being on this train like it's a vacation or a photo op and not like they're actually going anywhere. And as the line continues and you get up to the security officer who checks your ticket, he looks down, scans it. Have a wonderful day, Alma. I hope that you enjoy it on the Mr. Me Too. And leads you on to your private carriage, because you essentially paid for the entire car by itself. At which point you can roll to see if you can make way for your friends to get on, because you now have to do a thing to this window that is physically impossible. There is not enough width for a human to pass through this window. You will essentially need to break it.
I feel like that means we need an alternative entry point. Actually, that seems like a thing that we would have noticed, perhaps in pictures, for example, and been like, no, this isn't going to work, actually. So instead, what she's going to do, as much as I hate to blow it early, she does have an auto hack, and I think that what she is going to auto hack into is the train security system. So she wants basically access to cameras, door locks, essentially anything that is covered by the security system she wants in.
You activate your auto hack device, and you notice the physical properties of this car change. It seemed, when you entered, to just be an ordinary train car. Slim and cramped, but otherwise very ornate. And then when you trigger the auto hack, it is now an 80-foot by 90-foot floor of a building. There are still beds in it, but now you notice that it has, instead of a small kitchenette specifically for this car, a whole kitchen space with granite countertop and the two French door fridge. You notice that there is a media station. All of a sudden, the windows that were cramped and useless before are now expanded to the typical, at least vaguely home size, such that if someone did want to pass through, they could essentially just maneuver that from within to open a space for somebody to just climb through this window. The three of you from the outside don't notice any of this, but you notice that you can see them as if you're looking through the ground floor window of a building. And you open it, and it seems as if there is enough space for them to pass through. The rest of you just see like a small box kind of open outside of the train, like 2 foot by 2 foot, enough for you to climb in, but it doesn't look like a whole. It doesn't look like remarkably spacious. It just looks like a little bit bigger than what the windows looked like when you were outside. But when you look through that hole, you see what Alma sees. A thing that should not be a train car.
She makes sure that there are no security cameras currently pointed at them that would potentially notice anyone climbing into the train car from the outside window.
I'll give you that the auto hack has disabled the cameras specifically for this interaction.
Well, Glitch just stepped out of a monitor one day, so this doesn't seem especially out of order. So I'll just step on through.
Here is the entrance we have been promised. Crawls through
This is
window.
not the first window that Kithrick has slid through. This is fine.
Cool.
All right, everyone, let's get set up and get ready to go.
Yes.
She uses her newfound security features to, presumably there is not a big red X on a map showing where we are going to find our thing. But she is looking for a concentration of security features, things like extra cameras or security locks, or if she's got access to the camera feeds, she's going to be looking for a concentration of guards, possibly, because presumably the item in question is more heavily guarded. We don't know that, but that's what she's looking for.
Okay. So, you are on car 9 of this unnecessarily large train. This train has 51 cars on it, and half of them are shopping malls that move. That's how obnoxious this space is. But the thing that you know already is that the first 5 cars are heavily guarded. The first car is obviously the engine, which is moving on some proprietary energy technology that you aren't aware of. The second car is the executive wing, where Whitney Ryder himself and many of the higher level executives of his brand work and have their staff meetings in person and virtually, and manage the several artists that they very regularly rip off, because that's the kind of person that Whitney Ryder is. And cars 3, 4, and 5 are all meeting spaces, which are presently unoccupied except for staff, but also because storing hard copies of vital information on a train is very hard when all of your business happens in the first 2 cars of that train, is mostly where a lot of private documents and Whitney Ryder's private property just so happens to be very idly stored in like large metal storage devices in spaces around that meeting room. So it is possible that if the vault is in this space, it could be in any one of those 5 cars, most likely in 3 to 5, but not necessarily only there.
So we still think Smart Money has them on 3 to 5? Glitch asks.
We do not know what format these are in, do we? We could be looking for a very little chip or a big stack.
There is a sketch of the very last time that the vault was seen in person, which has it stored in a 10-foot square obsidian colored steel container, which leads people to presume that it is vinyls of physical masters of every song that Carly Rae Jepsen has recorded and unreleased, with one vinyl per recording.
So if I have the layout of the train right, we're in car 9 right now.
Mm-hmm.
And the cars of interest are cars 3 to 5. So we're basically going from the back of the train, and we would have to move up the train
Mm-hmm.
to get to 3 and 5.
Mm-hmm.
3, 2, 5, I guess.
Brandon, I have a very important question.
Yes.
Which of these is the restaurant car or cafe car?
There is a restaurant car 4 cars behind you.
There
Ahead
isn't one
of you.
closer to the executives?
No. Whitney Ryder made a lot of decisions about this train. None of them are smart ones.
We're in 9, the restaurant's in 13.
Am I able to
Sorry,
access any
sorry.
information about the other passengers on the train currently?
I would like you to give me a roll for that.
Oh ho ho. Were we supposed to each have a separate number, or does it not matter? Just for the just
We each
You're
have
each
separate
expected
numbers.
to have a separate number. What is your number?
Okay, so if I'm understanding the mechanics correctly, when we choose the number, the idea is that we want to have either a higher number or a lower number. Is that so if I'm better at swords, then I am supposed to pick a high number, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so like 5.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Would
so then my number is 5. And
okay.
am I supposed to then roll under 5 in order to succeed on the challenge?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So what is your roll again?
If my roll is 5?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. What am I rolling at the present time?
No. What is your character's roll?
Oh, I'm sorry, hacker.
Aha, noted. So you're an expert, so that means you get plus 1d.
Okay.
And it's obvious that this is an action that you're taking like very patiently because you want to gather this information. I'm just going to say that you are prepared, so you'll be rolling 3d6.
Yeah, I've essentially brought like a tablet kind of thing or a phone, some sort of object that with which I can interact easily with all of the different systems around me, something that it would make sense to just kind of backdoor into them and thus have access at my fingertips.
Okay. So yeah, give me a 3d6 swords roll.
Okay, and I am looking at the Roll20 options just to make sure that I understand how this works. So it's 3d6, and because I'm trying to get less than a 5, what I
Yes,
should be
3d6 less
saying
than.
is then use the less than symbol with the 5, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. This is very fancy, friends. We have not done this before, and by we, I mean me. Okay.
Who knew Roll20 gave us the ability to do the thing?
All right, so I apparently have 2 successes, but I rolled a 5 and a 3, but the 5 is not a success, correct? The 5 is...
When you roll your number, and let's read what the book says.
Says. Yeah,
if
go ahead.
you roll your number exactly on any one of the dice, you have cut to the feeling. You get a special insight into what's going on. Ask the GM a question, and they'll answer you honestly. There are draft questions in the rule book, but you can ask me any question that you wish, and I must tell you the thing.
Yeah. So, at this point, even though the feeling questions are very feely, um, again, I'm trying to get information about who's on the train, and the goal here is to better prepare us for what we're going to be encountering. And so I actually am going to use one of the questions more or less, which is what should I be on the lookout for, or perhaps more specifically, who should I be on the lookout for?
Who should you be on the lookout for? Aha, so here's what I'll give you. One, Whitney Ryder is on this train, very obviously. And from the information that you've gleaned, you suspect that he's actually here. Like the intel that you've gathered on the communication servers on the train itself inform you that when in the last 3 months or so, Whitney Ryder has told his shareholders of his company that he was actually on vacation in Iceland since December, but he was actually communicating with his assistant and one of his friends about a series of trips to several locations in the US and Latin America that coincide with locations that would have been on the So Nice tour, but the day after those events would have taken place. Which is noteworthy because Carly was gone, so they cancelled the tour, so nothing happened in those venues anyway. So no one knows why he was there. But he was there, and he's been essentially following the first half of the So Nice tour locations for some undiscernible reason, and has asked his assistant, and in fact paid his assistant a bonus 3 times as large as his actual annual pay to not let any of his execs know why that's happening. Also, there is a teenage pop singer named Minnie Blue on this train. Yes, that's a reference to a thing.
See what you did there.
Who is on this train under a very obvious alias. Like, you can tell that this document has been forged, and as you ping it, it immediately gives you all of Minnie Blue's personal information, because that's how good of a hacker you are. And that's noteworthy to you because Whitney Ryder has personally orchestrated a for Minnie Blue's debut record deal to have fine print that gives him personal ownership of all of her masters. And she doesn't even have a record out. And you have no idea why she would be on this train, because you know that the media knows that she thinks that this is bad and hates that she's in this deal and wants to get out of it. And you don't know where on the train she is. And with that, the train takes off. And you know that the train takes off not just because you're moving, but because Pusha T's Blocker is playing very loudly on the speakers outside as you all move at remarkably breakneck speed, and you can tell when you feel the initial whiplash that pushes you forward. And then as you start settling in motion, it feels like you're not moving at all. Like, the momentum of this train is so fluid that you can't even really tell that you're on a train anymore. But you can just like vaguely see the train station and then piles of trees and houses move at top speed past you. And that's where we're going to take a very quick break. before we get into the rest of the shenanigans of this session of boy problems. A reminder to all the lovely people in chat that a break for us on camera is a break for you behind the screen as well. So please take this moment to drink some water, get a bite to eat, take your medication and stretch and do all the things that you need to do to keep yourself healthy. So you will be back in 10 minutes for more of boy problems. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to a special Speculate one shot on this channel, twitch.tv/Arvan Elron, where the strange friends play boy problems by Colin Cummings. When last we left these wonderful tricksters on the train known as the Mr. Me Too, they had just left the train station and are headed to a destination unknown, or more likely just riding on this track for an undetermined amount of time until the owner, Whitney Ryder, decides to stop somewhere. With a plan to look for the vault of unreleased Carly Rae Jepsen music that is presently somewhere at the head of this train. What is everyone's first move as a result?
There is a restaurant car. The restaurant car is far from the meeting cars.
Mm-hmm.
This is a large company.
Mm-hmm.
A large company has interns.
Definitely does.
Shall we be interns getting lunch?
I shall be an intern taking coffee to the meeting. The coffee will be cold by the time I get there, which will necessitate me going in and out many, many times to fix their orders.
This is a thing that you can do. I would like you to give me a roll for that.
And while I am getting their orders and fixing things, there shall be mayhem. I can make lots of mayhem. It will be a delight to me to make mayhem.
So this is definitely an emotions roll. And I will say that you are prepared. So that's 2d6. What is your number?
Kithrick's number is 2 because Kithrick is a being of just like unfiltered id.
Noted.
Could I offer an assist?
You can.
So I think the assist would look like we cut from the train car that we're all in to both Kithrick and Glitch in like kind of, I guess, probably almost like theater black, like intern gear.
Oh, I think we can remain dressed as we are because this is a music company. It's just like, yes, we look like refugees from Daft Punk.
Sure. Glitch is backing Kithrick up, kind of, a half step back, and is drawing on their knowledge from having been on YouTube, watching people, watching videos of like badly behaved restaurant patrons. So that's like the version of the fighter that they're channeling. And I think for help, I make a roll, and if I succeed, then I will give Kithrick a +1d.
That is indeed true. So I guess I need a 1d emotions roll from you.
Okay. So the downside is that my number is 5, and emotions is not my thing. Was Glitch the best person to help you here? Hard to say, but
so this might not be ideal.
It's an
hey, I got a success.
Oh shit!
I got a 6, so it wasn't my number, but I did get a success to help.
Nice,
beautiful.
Cool. So now you are rolling. So now Kithrick is rolling 3d6.
3d6. Success is greater than 2. 3 successes. One of those is my number. We have rolled some emotions.
Wonderful. So we cut to the feeling.
Kithrick snacks their mandibles in delight.
So, is there anything that you'd like to know as you're doing the thing? Is there perhaps information that you want to scope out about the meeting rooms as you enter them that you would like to turn into a question that you'd like to ask me?
How can I distress and distract the people in these cars most effectively?
um, right. So, a thing that you notice while walking in this space, while carrying objects in your hand, is that there is a very peculiar physical field in this space. It is part of the field that is also manifesting these train cars as entire floors of buildings instead of narrow vehicle carriages. And it is manifesting in such a way that even though you know that you are moving, nothing is being disturbed by locomotive motion at all. You are carrying trays of drinks that are filled to the brim as if you're just walking on stationary ground. No one has ever like people are drinking coffee out of mugs and never seem troubled by the fact that they're on a train. And that gives you the impression, okay, something about this something about the field of reality in this space is such that no one has ever experienced, you get the impression at least, that no one has ever experienced any of the regular kinds of mess or potential physical distress that would come with trying to conduct business on a train. No one's ever had hot liquid poured on them before. No one's ever made a drastic spill in this space. No one's ever tripped or slipped on a surface in this space before. All you really need to do at this moment is be very clumsy, and it will upset everybody here because it's never happened on a train, on this train, for any of these people before.
Brandon, are these cars carpeted?
Yes.
Fuck yes.
Very garish, kind of like goldish brownish. You get the impression that it's like vacuumed on a regular basis. You get the impression that every individual car upwards of like 14 or 15 is very regularly maintained internally, such that it would actually be even more traumatic. It dawns on you to make a mess that can't be cleaned for the duration of this trip, because it's only going to get cleaned when they come to a stop. So what's the worst mess that you can make? What's the stinkiest thing that you can do in this room?
It is funny you asked that. Kendrick has found, since coming to Earth, that they really like coffee, but frequently, the ways in which they enjoy coffee are distressing to others. This doesn't stop Kithrick from trying, because really, you all need to learn to appreciate the value of flavors. Earth is great at flavors. There are so many flavors. Which is why one hand has one of the drinks trays filled with venti black coffees that each have 6 pumps of strawberry syrup in them. The other is lemon lattes, which is not a thing that's supposed to exist. And the milk is curdling in these because of the lemon.
I don't even drink coffee, and that sounds terrible.
The lemon latte is excellent because it not only has flavors, it has textures.
Yeah. Okay, cool. You distribute these coffees amongst the 3 meeting cars.
I distribute most of these copies among the 3 meeting cars, as I am going to give a great big venti black coffee pumped full of strawberry syrup to the most important possible person. Whoopsie doodle! I have tripped. This is not only on the carpet, it is also on their suit.
um, several things happen all at once. This individual, one of the executives in the meeting room, recoils suddenly from the scalding temperature of this coffee at the precise moment in time that you hear two people in the car behind you start retching violently. That door is closed. You have no idea what's going on in that car. The rest of you are hearing lots of upsetting commotion in the cars ahead of you.
Kithrick shouts through their helmet very dramatically, "Tra-la! Good sir! I apologize profusely, and I understand that your dry cleaning bill will come out of my very small paycheck."
The guy straightens up, takes a handkerchief out of his back pocket and is wiping away the stain of coffee from his shirt, and then looks at you. He's like, "Why are you? What's with the helmet?"
I've come to the grand train from the country of Daft Punk.
Yeah, cool. Thanks a lot for this. You can leave now or something, and like
Yes,
just
sir. I understand that I will never work in this town again.
Yeah, probably not. What the? And you see him like trying to. He's obviously trying to no longer focus on you in this moment and return his attention to cleaning the thing. Everyone who is
spies that there are documents upon this table which have coffee splashes upon them.
Mm-hmm.
Is it possible for a dexterous little new kid, under cover of frantically, helpfully mopping up, to slip away some of these documents?
Yeah. If you want to read or steal any of these documents, you can do that very easily with a swords roll.
Oh ho ho, this shall be a problem.
I imagine. Now, this is a thing that obviously
an exciting assist.
Mm-hmm.
I would be happy to assist. Are the others with us as well?
Can Alma hack my helmet to look through it and see what I am seeing?
Yeah, this is a thing that Alma can do. Which will also count as an assist if Alma, you want to make your assist roll first, which is also swords.
Okay, I can do that. And so my assistance would be in the form of, since one of the things that we get as a crew is communication devices so that we can talk to each other. And so I would be using that feed to say, make sure you get the paper at, whatever location on the table. I would probably be using clock information, which may or may not actually convey to friends. But I would be like, make sure you get the papers.
Has been here long enough to know how to read an analog clock.
Okay. So it's like, it would be like, okay, get the things at 2:05, get the things that, like we need this, and this. And okay, let me make my roll.
Kithrick is not a Zoomer, unfamiliar with analog clocks.
Okay, so I'm doing a 1d6, and I want it to be less than...
No, this is 2d6. I'll give you 2d6.
Okay.
Unlike me, you know what you're doing.
That is 1 success.
Okay. Glitch, do you still want to assist?
If multiple people can, I would be very happy to. I think...
Yeah, definitely.
Glitch's assist looks like basically taking papers when Kithrick is being especially like, oh no, what has happened? And so there's like drawing and throwing aggro in terms of like, okay, people's attention is over here. And he's grabbing things here, there, wherever. And then kind of shuffling them over to Kithrick.
Then does that give me a 3d6?
Well, Glitch needs to roll first.
Yep.
But the action that you described sounds more like emotions to me than swords.
It's about being quick and efficient when someone else is being distracting.
Okay, that's fair. I'll give you swords for that then. Cool.
So this is 2d6 under my number.
Yes.
Okay. So that is a 1 and a 6 for 1 success.
Okay, cool. So that now puts you at 4d6?
Do I have expertise or something?
I
Or
will
preparation? Is that what you're
I
giving
will say
me?
that you're prepared, yeah.
Okay. 46, and I've got to get that under a 2 this time. Let's see what happens. Ha! There is 1 success in there.
Yeah, 1 success is good enough. Good lord, that roll. Jesus.
Yeah.
I just want our listeners to know that that roll is 6, 6, 6, and 1. If we were playing a Forge in the Dark game, that would be an extra crit.
Yeah. We're playing the wrong hack of a game made by John Hopper. But nice. 1 success is all that we need. You get glimpses of pieces of information in here that are mostly dedicated to documenting the extensive list of masters and unreleased catalogs that are stored in Whitney Ryder's overall storage of personal effects, some of which are not on the train, but a great deal of which is on the train. You actually do visibly glance the first page of the legal Hansard dedicated to Minnie Blue versus Whitney Ryder, and some legal notes on those sheets of paper dedicated not to any actual legal preparation for their defense, but just Whitney Ryder's lawyers being very nasty to Minnie Blue for no real reason in their own handwriting. And the documents do confirm for you that even though they don't state where Carly Rae Jepsen's catalog is on the train, they do confirm that the vault is on the train, as with some other catalogs.
I skitter away delightedly. The ears of my helmet have space in them to let my ears move, and as I skitter away inside the helmet, my ears are twitching with delight.
As you are walking out of the last meeting car, you notice, more so than everybody else notices, because people are coming and going out of these train cars on a regular basis. You notice a short figure in a hood walk past you with, like, particularly serious intent.
I would like to trip them impulsively in the interest of mayhems.
Give me a swords roll, 1d6.
Oh, okay. This is swords even though I am chasing the mayhem? It is not an emotion as I cater to the it.
You know what? Passionate action counts. I'll give you it as emotions. Yeah.
We have succeeded. It is a 5.
Okay. Cool. You
Immediately, Kithrick is bending, not very far because Kithrick's short, to lift this person back up. Oh dear, I am so sorry.
the person who is looking up at you is Minnie Blue.
Haha!
She looks like she has been crying. Her hands are in the pockets of her hooded sweater. You get the impression that she's holding something. You don't know what, and she won't move her hands. You kind of grab her by the elbow, and she looks up at you and goes, "What was that about?"
Down, I think. I am very little.
Are you? Well, fair.
Is she littler than like 4
She's not
foot
little,
plus ears?
but she's not like entirely on her feet yet, is why. So yeah.
You seem to be in distress. People in distress do things they regret. I think you need to calm down. I think you need to take 5. Is that what people say? Yes, take 5. I am frequently and repeatedly told to take 5. Shall we take 5 together? And Kithrick is fishing through their motorcycle leathers, comes up with a massive, old-fashioned handkerchief with lace edging and an embroidered monogram, and reaches out and holds it out to Minnie Blue. You could use this. You look like you were having what is called a day.
Minnie Blue lets out that kind of sarcastic chuckle that people often do when they are annoyed at something. Um, Shakes you off, gets up, takes that kerchief from you and wipes her face. And then she stops and looks at you again. Wait a minute. And then she takes out her phone, flips through something. You got a message from a bunch of numbers the other day, didn't you?
I often get many messages from many numbers. Are you in numbers?
What? She looks at you very weirdly and then turns around, opens the door to the car where the three of you are standing, and then just walks up to Glitch.
Kithrick following in after her, closing the door behind them. Look, I found a pop star.
Can I help you?
You're the crew, aren't you?
We work here, yes.
Don't give me that. She pulls out her phone again, scrolls down, points the screen at you, Glitch, and you see the same username that had sent you all the initial message to meet at the coffee shop.
So Glitch looks at that, kind of scrunches her eyes, and Mike, let's go back. You working for or are you commissioning from Holly?
I got a message from this number yesterday.
Why'd you miss the meet?
I wasn't there for the meet. I was told that a crew would be here and that you'd make an opening for me. And then your friend here decided to rob me of my chance.
Glitch is not great at reading people, so I think instead they look over to Kithrick and the others, and in the actually, we're right there, and just says, "So what do you think? On the level?"
Kithrick is tugging at Minnie's elbow and says, I will make you many more chances. I am good at the mischief, the rumpus, the mayhem.
Okay. Because I know that Ryder's on this train, and maybe this is stupid, but I'm getting back what's mine before I get off this train. No matter how I have to do it. And You all have your other thing to do. I don't even know what it is, but I just need you all to continue making enough noise so I could confront Ryder myself.
Pithrick has just this like full light up in their body language. You can see that they are practically electrified with glee. Double heist.
I guess. So you've been in the first 3 cars, right?
I have, and I would advise you not to go in there. It has made a smell.
Audibly, people are still retching inside there. Jeoi,
Yes.
I would like you to give me a roll. First, what is your number?
Is 3.
This is very convenient. Um, I need you to give me a swords roll.
Swords. So I am trying to roll below the number, correct?
Yes, and you're rolling 2d6, because I will say that you are prepared.
Okay. Roll 2d6 under 3. Nope, both of those numbers are above 3.
This is not ideal. You notice the thing idly looking at the text message that Minnie shared with the rest of the group, but she puts away her phone before you can actually make out the rest of the message. All you can really glean is that Holly Tan reached out to her after reaching out to you all initially, and that she's here for something that Holly didn't seem to be very overt about in the message, so you can't glean much more than that. There is an announcement on the PA system of the train. Good afternoon, passengers. It is your humble host this evening, Whitney Ryder. I'm so glad to have all of you lovely people here spending time with us on the Mr. Me Too. I hope that you're having wonderful time. You're having a wonderful time with your fellow guests, eating good food, taking good pictures. I hope that you've all fraternized all of the shopping floors further down in the later cars. I will let you know that Nordstrom Rack is actually having a sale in 43. Whenever you're ready, please check that out. And of course, I hope that you're all fraternizing the high-speed Wi-Fi on board this train at the moment, so you can take all of your lovely pictures and put them on Instagram. And please tag hashtag Mr. Me Too. That's the number 2, so everyone else can know what a lovely time you're having on this train. Also, I'd like to give a special message to Minnie Blue. The wonderful pop star Minnie Blue is actually on board with us this afternoon. If it's possible, you can meet me in car number 2 at your earliest convenience. Please do so. I'd like to have a chat with you. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Click.
What a nasty individual.
All right, Minnie. So the rule is that whatever he wants you to do, you don't do. What we're going to do is we're going to put you in a different car and we're going to go to car 2 and see what we can handle. I will set up. It's like I'll say, let me have your phone for a second, can I please?
Give me an emotions roll.
Oh, that's gonna be a nothing burger. All right, let's see what happens here.
I'm gonna give you 3d6. I'm just gonna give you You're prepared, and I'm just gonna give you an extra d6 because I'm nice to you.
Okay, so I need to roll greater than 5. I have 1 success, which is actually a 5. And so,
Ah,
Up to the
nice.
feeling.
Is there anything that you'd like to know about Mini Blue in this moment?
I'm trying to think of I think the main concern that we have is she going to somehow obstruct what we're trying to do? I think what's really going on here is the question that would arise based on the questions that are available to us. That seems the closest,
Cool.
yeah.
Lovely. Um, Mini Blue looks you in the eye, and you can see tears welling in her eyes again. As she takes her hands out of the, like, joined front pocket of her hooded sweater and rests on the table in your car slash floor a ball peen hammer. She doesn't say anything to you. You know exactly what that hammer was for. And she looks to you and says, "That bastard took everything from me. I just started out here. I just wanted to make. I just wanted some place to put my feelings, and he decided it was worth more money to hoard than to share, and I was done with it. I was gonna make a mistake today. But if bunch of numbers on that forum said that you're like good at what you do, I'm gonna trust y'all to do it. But I need my masters, or I don't think I'm gonna be in this industry anymore. I don't know what else to do, but trust y'all. So I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna wait right here, and you're gonna give me all my records back, and then we're never gonna see each other again. Okay?
Can do.
And Mini Blue sits silently at another table in your car slash floor and looks out the window and lets you all do whatever you're ready to do.
Okay.
And you all know
I
now
asked to
that.
borrow her phone so that I can basically set up a line so that I can give her information that may be like basically so I can communicate with her if necessary to tell her
Mhm.
to join us or get out or something similar.
And she does in fact do the thing. Um, Jeoi, remind me what your character's name is.
Stay.
Mhm. Stay. Did you know that Minnie was going to be on this train?
I think so.
How do you feel about this interaction that has just happened?
I feel quite put out about it. I feel like not only are we not getting the tunes that we were promised, that perhaps her time on the stage has ended a little bit too early.
Noted. um, you all head to car 2. Very busy executive floor. Again, space is distorted in this car such that it looks like a large uh, upstairs floor of dozens of people frantically sharing notes and glancing over laptops as Whitney Ryder in a large glass boxed room to the northeast, physically in this space that is still moving on this train, is glancing at a large glass monitor that is kind of hovering over his table in the space, seemingly in conversation with someone via video chat on the screen. Everyone who enters the room, I would like you to give me any role that you wish to gain more information about the space that you're in. And I'll do it in order, starting with Kithrick.
Hoo. I would like to roll to figure out how distressed the people here are.
Okay, give me emotions.
1d6. 2d6. Oh yes, because I'm an expert at distressing people.
Mm-hmm.
And I just got a beat a 2. That's a 5 and a 6.
Okay. Everybody, they're not panicking. This seems to be par for the course for a level of distress at a high turnover entertainment business office. But it does seem like they're focusing on a certain kind of problem in particular that you can't really get a sense of what it is. Only that it seems to be related to normal business. Whitney Ryder's normal business concerns are not anything specific to the train. That is to say, you have no reason to presume that anybody has been alerted to your presence yet. Stay.
Yes. What role would this be? Would it be a swords or an emotive role to gather information about what is happening here?
I would like you to also give me an emotions roll.
Okay, so I
I
need
want to see if there's something in particular I want to give you.
is that 1d6?
That's 2d6 for you as well.
And I need it greater than 3. Also 0 successes.
Oh no. Yeah, people seem to be so frantic that they're not paying attention to you, but you can't really tell about what or why. Glitch. Give me a swords roll.
So I think for Glitch, this is like a body language threat assessment, just in terms of like how people move, not the emotion behind it, but the intent. So, shall I make that at 2d6, 1d6?
Yeah. 3.
Okay. Looking 3d6 under 5. Do that again, but make it work. That is 3 successes, but no cut to the feeling.
Okay, cool. There are no guards in this room. The room is full of people. There are like 60 people moving multiple directions in this room. Leaving the car, moving from several distinct cubicles in this car. None of them are armed. None of them are moving with the intent of a security officer. Everyone here is executive staff.
I want to lock the door to 3 behind me.
Well done. Alma, please give me an emotions roll.
I actually would, if I can, I'm going to pitch you a swords option, which is that I'm going to be using the cameras within the room to attempt to just look at everyone's monitors, basically.
Aha, I like this as well. Please do the thing. Please
All right.
give me a
How many
roll.
dice are you giving me for this?
This is 3d6.
Okay. There's 2 successes.
You briefly access the entirety of the executive server on this floor, in this car. And that's how you know two things. One, when Whitney Ryder learned that Minnie Blue was on this car, he communicated with one of his friends, the same friend who knew that he was back tracing the So Nice tour, that he had every intention of taking this opportunity to gloat like an asshole in front of Minnie about still owning her masters and not potentially losing this court case at any point in time. And two, Carly Rae Jepsen's entire unreleased catalog is not only in this room, but you can see exactly where it is because it is constantly pinging on all of the security servers in this space whenever it is present nearby any of the security apparatus anywhere on this train. It is a chip that is attached to the hour hand of the Rolex watch he is wearing. It is literally on his person.
All right. Well, I will communicate this very quietly to my friends here. All right. Follow up. Can I find Minnie Blue's stuff?
Two successes. I will say that that's a thing that you're also aware of. Mini Blues catalog is also on the train. It is a large wooden box presently in car 4, which, as you know, is currently full of interns and executives who are throwing up.
All right. All right. I convey this information to my teammates.
Do you let Minnie know?
I will not yet let Minnie know, only because I want us to have a plan first as a group before we bring her into whatever the plan might be. Because we can potentially just have a one group plan to get the Carly Rae Jepsen stuff and then leave Minnie to her own devices, or we can have a 2-tier activity that we all are doing together as a unit. So
Hithrick feels very bad for Minnie Blue and would not like to leave her to her own devices.
yeah, it then so the heist parameters now at this point are we must get the watch off of Whitney, and we must also get the masters from the other car for Minnie. And so it's possible, for example, that Minnie could be used as a distraction while somebody gets close enough to Whitney to get the watch off. It's possible that we want Minnie to be the one who tries to get the watch off while we are the distraction. Like, there's different ways we can approach this.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I think it makes sense per what Iori said in chat is to get the watch, we probably want to stack assists, right? Or do what we would call in Forge in the Dark setup actions. So the question is how can we do that in a way that includes as many of the characters as possible to kind of do the cool like domino chain heist move.
Well, let's see. Brandon, since I am dexterous, would I be rolling this with expertise?
Oh yeah, definitely. I will give you 3d6 for this.
Base 3d6.
So this is emotions, I presume.
What kind of watch is it?
It is a silver band, silver bezel Rolex watch. Um, it is weirdly gaudy on the inside, like it's full of so many individually set gemstones that in the wrong light it is actually impossible to tell what time it is. Um,
Brenton,
like yes,
given the fact that Kithrit can see shrimp colors, is it especially colorful and alluring to me?
oh yeah, definitely. Um, like it catching fluorescent light in this room kind of unnecessarily gets your attention first and foremost from everyone else.
Yeah. I would like to roll emotions on this because the emotion is not just want to save Minnie. There's also a personal emotion of I want that shiny thing.
Mm-hmm. This works for me. Yeah, so 3d6.
Greater than 2. Let's see. 2 successes. A 6, a 4, and a 1.
Aha. Okay. um, in the kind of trance of being hyper focused on this Rolex, you just kind of walk through this crowd of people constantly shuffling one way and the other in this space, all the way to the office where Ryder is still obviously like entranced in this meeting and hasn't even really noticed that you came in. Just kind of gestures toward you as if you were like an intern who came to get a file from him. He hands you a sealed envelope with his watch hand, and you can just slide it off right there and then, effortlessly. And you do when you take the file from him and you step all the way back out. And I'd like you, as a result, to now give me a swords roll.
Oh no.
2d6.
Okay, I don't know what exactly is going on, but can I do a potentially an assist right now?
I will say you can do an assist. Your assist is
My assist would be in the
your.
nature of distraction.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. And you're rolling swords or emotions?
I'd be rolling swords because what I would be trying to do is basically crash the Wi-Fi temporarily. Just give it a little hiccup so that everybody's computers do sad simultaneously.
Okay, cool. Please give me 2d6.
Right. As 2 successes.
You cut to the feeling.
Oh ho
So,
ho.
in terms of my cut to the feeling right now, I feel like
Mm-hmm.
um hmm
Because I was gonna offer you a thing.
yeah.
In lieu of the question, I wanted to make a suggestion to you.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what's the best way to?
Because you also need to deal with exfil, right? You have no idea how you're getting off this train.
Yeah, exactly. And so my thought would have been that if the Wi-Fi stops, they need to fix it, or everyone on the train is gonna simultaneously revolt, basically. And so it's possible that I can do it in such a way that it requires a stop. Or I can just hack the fire system and then we have to stop because, oh no, to crash soars.
Because I was, oh my god. Um. So,
I
so
have
I'm.
convinced the train that it is actually not a train anymore. I'm giving it
So,
a small crisis. It's downloading an update. I had to
so
stop.
I'm gonna do you one better. um, which is while you're deep into the server, you notice that someone else is deep into the server as well.
Oh, a friend
And
or enemy.
that person very briefly hijacks your comms.
Well, hello there.
Alma, is that you?
It is.
Nicely done. Well, I mean, you're on the train, so of course you're gonna get access to the server. I've been trying to get into this for 4 months now, but you don't know who I am. Polytan, superfan. Um, I just realized we never hooked you up with a vehicle because you decided to do things the nice and easy way. Um, would you like a hovercraft to pick you up somewhere? Because I can make that happen.
That would be extremely excellent because it looks like we're going to have a couple extra packages to pick up. So,
Ah, you decided to cause some mayhem? Duly noted. Um, you just ping me when you're ready to come off, and I'll make sure that a carrier comes to find you. Just be out of the train when it happens. It might be kind of messy the other way around.
can do.
Duly noted. And then click. But you are now sufficiently prepared to just kind of black out the entirety of this room, not just the Wi-Fi. You can take the entire um like you can take all of the power out in this room if you want.
Oh, I'm gonna hold on to that thought until we're closer to the exit, each of us, because I feel like the chaos of bringing down the Wi-Fi is going to be enough that we can then get to the exit, and then bringing the power out is going to be kind of the finale to that. Does that make sense?
Cool.
And we're going to have
Mm-hmm.
to pass through the room with Minnie's stuff anyway to get back to our train car. So, correct? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So then, as on our way through there, we'll make a little pit stop.
Stay. Can you give me an emotions roll?
An emotions roll. So we want the number below or above? Above.
Above.
Above. Let's see
This
if
is
I
one d
type
six.
roll 1d6 above 3. Unrecognized command. I must have typed that in badly. 1d6 again. Above 3. That is 1 success for the 1d6. What do I feel?
Aha. So here's what happens. Kithrick, you're walking out of the office. You're 4 feet, 5 feet, 6 feet clear of this office door, and then the office door opens behind you. Whitney Ryder pokes his head out and goes, "Hey, you!" but is not speaking to you. He's instead speaking to Stay.
Mm-hmm. I do
Are
look more
you the
suspicious.
Are you the new guy?
Where are
The
the new
Wi-Fi.
time? Where are the new times that I was promised?
Um, what? The Wi-Fi is down. Can you go speak to IT in the engine car or something? I kind of need to get this sorted out. Kind of now I'm in the middle of something. God, it's like no one here knows how to actually do an honest day's work, and then closes the door behind him. Um,
How crowded is this train?
this
And
car,
is the lock an electronic lock?
this car is more or less very crowded. Like not impossible to pass through, but it is the most crowded car that you've encountered thus far on the Mr.
Mm-hmm.
Me Too. Um, the lock is both manual and electronic, but is presently manually locked
I have
Cool.
because
lockpicks.
glitch.
Lockpicks come with the new kid set.
You don't have to worry. Glitch locked the car. Glitch can just unlock it whenever they feel.
But he closed the door specifically, Ryder did, to another room within the car. That's the
Oh yeah,
that's the door I'm asking about.
Oh right, his door is mechanical.
Okay. I have a knife that has a laser option. May I melt the lock so that he cannot get out with my laser knife?
I'm just gonna say it happens. In fact, so I need to find out what the consequences of it happening will be. So please give me a swords roll.
Okay.
2d6.
Roll 2d6.
This is less than 3.
Less than 3. That's 2 successes. Neither of them are a 3 though. So
Cool. So you don't cook any of the other executive members in this office as a result, but you do seal the silver and brass lock against the glass door and the glass window to its left, such that not only can it not move, but for several hours after this point, the act of attempting to hold this lock will probably cause serious burn damage to Whitney's hands.
bye bye, rich man. I rejoin my short buddy.
So presently, you know where Mini Blue's records are. You have the entirety of Carly Rae Jepsen's catalog in your hands, and you've been offered a ride out whenever you can get out of the train.
So I guess our next move would be to head back to our car and in the process get Mini Blue and also get Mini Blue's masters.
Mm-hmm.
Let us do this thing jauntily and with great joy.
Are we going to be encountering Mini Blue first, or are we going to be encountering the car with the masters first, or are they both in the same car?
You will be passing through the car with the masters before you get to your quarters.
Okay.
So you can do that first. And again, when you get to that car, dozens of interns and execs are either about to puke or are actively puking and aren't noticing you walk clean past them. You notice a wooden like lockbox in the corner of the room. You just pick it up and continue on your way. When you get to car number 9, you hear a buzzing outside the window.
That should be our ride. Let's go.
Can we look out the window first to see if that actually is our ride?
Yeah, because I could
A
definitely
wise
be wrong.
choice.
She's just very confident at this point because everything's been going so swimmingly. Why wouldn't it be?
Out the window, like 30 feet off, in like a clearing of snow, as you like continue on this path, you can see a reasonably sized vehicle, what looks like a large drone, essentially, moving at unbelievable speed to try to keep up with the train while also not colliding with trees in this clearing. Alma, you get like a very sharp ping in your communicator, but nothing else.
Okay. Do I have any confirmation that this is our ride, or am I just to believe that it is coincidentally, like, based on context, this is probably our ride?
Yeah. The ping was the context, essentially.
Yeah, that's what I'm assuming. Okay. So I will ask Minnie. We have your masters. Do you want them to be delivered to somewhere specific so that you can stay here and be above suspicion? Or would you like to come with us right now?
I mean, you have it, and if you get out before anyone can say anything, then when I gloat, no one can take it back from me, right? I'll message you, or Holly, or whoever, and we'll figure it out. Thank you.
Don't worry, I'll find you.
Um, you
Alley-oop. Let's get out of here. Before I leave, Alma erases the traces of her ticket purchase. She was
duly
never
noted.
here.
All right.
Um,
I have a getting out of the train idea.
Please tell me the thing.
All right. So the most important thing that I have is that I have stolen hard sound parachutes from the emergency supply box in car number 3 because everyone's puking and no one was paying attention.
Mm-hmm.
The question I don't know the answer to is what's the easiest way to jump off of the train from here?
If we jump, can that drone scoop us?
Oh, I've got it covered.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Ooh.
So the way I'm gonna give this to you, because you don't even need to roll for it. The drone and the drone will just end up doing the thing. Is that the moment that you ask that question, the train very dramatically starts entering a part of the track where on the window that you're facing is now just cliffside. So you can jump, and you have parachutes to jump. And if anything were to go wrong, you just fall to your doom. But the drone just catches you. You didn't even need to pop your parachutes. You just needed to jump.
No, I want to use the parachute though.
Okay, I will allow you to do the thing.
Because so the parachutes are on like wristbands, and basically you slip on 2 wristbands, and then like that's the handles for the hard sound parachute, and the sound is the saxophone lick that is the opening of Run Away With Me. And so like we get like the pull back shot of that saxophone playing as the 4 of us are like floating down to the exfil, if that's okay.
Yeah. The drone just kind of lowers just a little bit, so you all just be able to glide right into the door that opens as you parachute down. Um, you see a screen that is waiting for you inside the vehicle. Just has the text that just appears on the screen as you all enter. Very clever. I like that. And then the door closes and takes you to your final destination, um, which is an abandoned church building on another side of Alberta, where is just the drone that delivered you all here. One elderly woman is sweeping a patch of snow from one of the front steps outside of this cathedral, and then looks up at you all and goes, "I guess I leave now." Just kind of gingerly puts the broom down and walks away. Um, as you emerge from the drone, a very like stern gentleman in uh jeans and a powder blue polo walks up to you and just kind of puts his hand out.
Kithrick is fiddling open their shiny new watch to get the chip out. Because Kithrick's keeping the rest of this watch.
You can. I don't care about the watch. You can just give me the thing.
So, what was the way for us to confirm
Yeah,
with
I
the
was gonna
drop-off
say,
person that it's the right person? Because this isn't Holly.
Yep.
Kithrick
But
is
yeah, all
holding
of
the
this
watch and the chip very close to their mouth because if anything looks like it's going remotely shady, Kithrick will eat this chip.
is. Anyone who wants to make any roll, please do so.
Okay.
I will tell you if it's 1d6 or 2d6 based on what action you're trying to take.
I would like to emotions roll on whether I can trust this guy.
I'm actually I'm trying to do cold rationality here because I feel like yes, we were brought here via the vehicle, but we were also told that we were to drop off the chip at a different location in 3 days' time, if I remember correctly from the beginning. And so I feel like this is not the appropriate procedure that we were given prior to the start of the mission.
Mm-hmm. Both of you roll 2d6 for me.
Woof! Wait, hang on. Wait, I was supposed to roll over, wasn't I?
Yes, you're supposed to roll
Okay,
over. So you
I
technically
used
Yes.
I used
That's
the
wrong.
I used the wrong angle bracket, but technically I succeeded both times.
Me too.
Yes, you did.
Math's
Okay,
hard.
cool.
Big same.
Cool. Right. Both of you look at this guy as like, okay, we've never met you before. We don't know what the deal is with you. And that's when both of you notice out of the corner of your eye that Holly steps back from like 20 feet, just like behind this guy's head, and walks into the cathedral as if she hadn't actually noticed that you all have arrived.
Ooh.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do instead, if I see you moving, I'm gonna be like, okay, and I'm gonna pull out a like small just a like a micro SD card. It's blank. He doesn't know that. And I'm going to slip it into a bill, like a dollar bill. And be like, all right, man, if you're gonna buy yourself some booze or whatever, here you go. And I make eye contact and I make sure he can feel that there's a chip in the dollar as I pass it over. But I'm trying to like make the transaction appear as if I'm
Normal.
giving money to a panhandler.
Give me another swords roll 1d6.
1d6, you got it. This is gonna be bad. Here we go.
The chances of it being bad are
Nope.
very low.
Yep, rolled a 6.
Right. The guy looks at you and goes, if you don't trust me, you could just go inside, but that's what I'm here for.
Let's go inside then.
As they
Okay.
pass this guy heading into the church, Kithrick looks up at him and says, I do not like you, sir, and snacks their mandibles threateningly.
The blues are
Noted.
the blues are too close, but not close enough. English just walks
Come
by.
on, man. I really like this. You know what?
Salmon.
Just
It's a
go ahead,
beautiful color on so many people.
You really have to have the right skin tone for salmon.
No, I think this person can do it. I believe in you. I don't trust you, but I believe you can pull off salmon.
So
Salmon is
you
a
all
tasty fish.
Oh god. So you all walk into this cathedral. Kind of broken down on the inside. There are large holes where snow and melted water is now falling in through the roof and some edges of the wall. Some of the old pews are now mildewed or broken down. At the altar, you see a large stone bell hanging by a rope between the two mostly semi-shattered stained glass at the edge. You see a very large gramophone in the center of the um, altar with this large wooden stem holding what looks like the skull of a crow or a raven that is leaning over where a vinyl record would be, as if this is the needle for this gramophone. And you see a large golden chalice right in front of that gramophone, and you are hearing wind rushing from this chalice for some reason. You see Holly like rush up to the altar and just kind of look at it very peculiarly, and then turn towards you and goes, "Oh, you guys actually made it. I never. Oh right, I gave you all the vehicle, so it came to look for me. This wasn't supposed to happen today, but I guess it can still. Let me get my
We
phone.
can go. We can go and come back later. Do you want us to go and come back later?
No, now it's fine. I can give you all the rest of your money." Takes out her phone and wires you immediately the rest of all of your funds. And goes, "In fact, because you all delivered it again, because the vehicle already did the thing, and wires you all another 1.1 million credits each. So now you're all at 2.1 million credits each for your delivery." Cool. This is grand. So, thank you so very much for this. I will just take this off your hands now. And walks toward walks towards Stay to ask for um the vault.
I really look like I have the vault.
Yeah,
You look like
Holly
the
just
one who's
assumed.
like most possessed of arcane secrets. So
that's
I think
true,
it's like
that's
a
true.
really reasonable assumption.
Hmm. Well, can I detect with my feelings exactly how shady of a situation we are in?
You can, but it'll be 1d6.
Cool, I'll 1d6 it.
Can any of us help?
Yeah, is there an assist I can offer here?
Yeah, this is all very sus.
I am using feelings, so I guess depending on all of your composite body language, it will inform me exactly how creepy all of us are, how creeped out we all are.
Eh,
Because sometimes knowing whether or not you are in a bad situation depends a lot on whether everybody around you can confirm that you are in fact not nuts.
We are all listening to our
I
lizard
would like-
brains right now.
I would like to take off my helmet and reveal my little goblin-y face and my twitching ears, which are just subconsciously going wild. Because, like, I want to smell the air in here. Something feels weird. Let's smell the air unfiltered. Can this count as an assist?
okay.
Also, is my goblin-y little alien face gonna freak out Holly?
Holly seems mostly unbothered. But I'm gonna let both of you all roll for your assists. Um, that's Glitch with swords and Kithric with emotions, 2d6 each.
Mhm.
2 successes on my assist.
2 successes on my emotions.
Okay, cool. Both of you don't notice, like, you don't get the impression that you're about to be double crossed. You just get the impression that something weird is about to happen in this moment. You don't know how you feel about it yet, it does feel kind of weird and off-putting. You get the impression that you don't want to be here. In particular, Glitch, something about this vibe, something just about the vibe of of this space feels not directly threatening to you all, just threatening in general.
So I think the response that that we see on Glitch is that she kind of like checks all the corners, looks at the chalice and the gramophone, and says, "What's next on the playlist?"
I am going to make a rule for a thing.
As we all wait, very,
The
very
suspense.
suspensed.
Hey, okay. um, while a thing is about to happen, I would like Stay to give me. What were you about to roll again?
I was going to roll emotions to determine. I think I'm rolling emotions to determine how bad are things going to get, and therefore how extreme should my next move be.
Okay. Give me.
So with those two assists, is that 3d6?
That's 4d6.
Okay. 4d6 over 3. Oh, 3 successes and all of them are 3. My number.
You cut to the feeling 3 times. Everything that is about to happen, you are going to notice all of it all at once. The vibe that you get, like, you're gonna get questions, but before you even get to ask any of these questions, I'm gonna just give you things because things are also about to happen. Glitch says, "What's next on the playlist?" And Holly goes, "Funny you should ask that." And then immediately Holly's face turns serious. I've been waiting for this moment a very long time, you know. Even before the tour got cancelled, and then it did, and that's when I realized something. I realized that sometimes you need to replenish the emotional tank. You just need to disappear and recharge. Sometimes you just need to no longer be here on this plane of existence. Holly snaps her fingers, and this large black obelisk falls onto the turntable of the gramophone behind her. It is as wide as a vinyl record would be, except it is pure square, and at the top of it is this large groove that curls inward from one of the faces all the way to the center of the square. And it falls down onto the gramophone, and the raven's beak needle hits it exactly in the groove. And Call Me Maybe starts playing. But it starts playing wrong. You hear it once, and then again playing right on top of it, and then again playing right on top of it, until somewhere around the chorus you're just hearing it over and over and over again until it starts grating and making this loud mechanical groan against the gramophone. The golden chalice starts rising up out of the ground and turning towards you, and that's when you notice there's a large black hole inside it. And the vault just kind of lifts out of your hand and goes right into it and through. And then Holly turns to you, Kithrick, and says, I'm going to find the lighthouse if it's the last thing I do. And then snaps her fingers again, and everything goes black. And that's where we're going to take our next break. So again, a reminder to all of you lovely people in chat that a break for us on camera is another break for you all behind the camera. So please get something to eat or drink, stretch, make sure that everything in your body is in the places where it's supposed to be, and we will be back with more boy problems very, very soon. Hello, everyone. Welcome back for more boy problems as we indulge ourselves in another speculate in a special speculate one shot on this channel, twitch.tv/Arvin Elron. Where we last left off, our intrepid group of thieves had just successfully escaped the very weird businessy train known as the Mr. Me Too with not one but two very special musical catalogs in tow. One of which obviously being the vault of Carly Rae Jepsen's unreleased tracks, and has since met back up with Holly Tan Superfan in an abandoned church where now weird things are happening. And the very first person who's going to notice all of those weird things is Stay. Stay, you come to before everyone else does. You see them, they're around you, in this weird space where it is perpetually night, but there are no stars in the sky. You only notice two things, in fact, in the sky. You notice the moon, and the reason why you notice the moon is because you notice that no matter where you're looking in the sky, the moon is always just to the right of your peripheral vision. Even if you turn all the way around, it will just be right there, just enough for you to see it, full and beaming in the sky. And you also notice that at the very horizon of your sight is this large alabaster statue of what looks like a very young woman in a very long flowing dress, but her face is covered with a veil. And this is all like carved from stone, but you notice that that stone veil seems to be moving as if it is being touched by a breeze, and that behind the eyes of that veil you notice light rotating through those eyes as if the head of that statue were a lighthouse. You notice that you're standing at a crossroads. In the extensions of all of the directions of all of these streets, you can see nothing. No cars, no street lamps, no anything. But there is a street lamp at one of the corners of this crossroads, and you notice that there is only one building at each corner of this crossroads. To your left and behind you is a mini mart that is open 24 hours. To the left and in front of you is what looks like a nightclub, but you can't really tell. You can hear dance music playing from it, but from the outside it just looks like a large black obelisk with a door with a red carpet leading into it. But you don't see anybody walk into or out of it. You don't see anyone through the door. You just hear music playing from inside it. To your right and behind you is a colonial style house painted crimson. And in front of it, to your right and in front of you, is a very similar colonial style house, like literally mirroring it, but painted pastel green. Something is telling you that something is happening in the house behind you, the crimson house. You don't know why, you just get this feeling that something is happening inside there. You cut to the feeling 3 times. Anything you want to know about this place, you can ask me.
You are still muted, Jeoi.
The first question asked is, how do we get out?
You strongly believe that you will get out when you either get Holly to confess some deep feeling inside her, or if you find something that is presently lost in this space. That's when you notice you don't see Holly, because you don't see anybody other than you and your friends.
Okay. And everybody else is unconscious around me?
Presently unconscious. They're about to wake up, but they'll wake
Okay.
up after you've gotten all of your answers. 2 more questions.
Okay, and you said that there were 2 buildings. There's the green one and there's the red one.
Yeah, those are the 2 houses.
Okay. And then there's also the Obelisk Club thing.
Yes, and a mini mart to the other side of that one.
Okay. My second question is, are all of the building type things in this space occupied? So the lighthouse, the obelisk, the mini mart, and the 2 houses.
Even though you can't see them or hear them, you get the impression that the dance club is full of people. You don't see anyone in the mini mart, but the mini mart is open. There's not even anyone at the counter, but it is open and the lights are on. All of the windows and doors are closed and all of the lights are off in both of the colonial houses, but you get the feeling that someone is in the Crimson House.
Okay. And there's nobody in the lighthouse.
The statue is just a statue that behaves like a lighthouse.
Okay.
I will not count that as a question.
Okay.
So you have 1 more.
Mm-hmm. My third question is, which one is the most dangerous?
Which building is the most dangerous?
Yes.
You don't get the impression that any of these buildings or anyone in them is a threat to you.
Okay.
In fact, you get a far stronger suspicion that if Holly were to enter any one of them, she would be a greater threat to any of the contents within those spaces than the other way around. Everyone else you slowly come to in this space.
This is the sound of Kithrick waking up.
I
Waking up is a universally unpleasant experience, no matter what species you are.
This is true.
I basically help everyone up and get their bearings and let them all know my shady person's shady impressions of these buildings and places.
Then I get anything like a Wi-Fi signal or
There is no data traveling through this space.
Damn.
In fact,
They nerfed our hacker.
Oh, I hate this.
give me a sword roll. In fact, give
How
me a sword
many?
roll 1d6.
1d6. That is not a success.
Yeah, you get the feeling that something weird. You get the feeling that something is uniquely weird about the space when it comes to the use of technology, but you can't tell what. Where do you all go?
I should have walked out when she gave us the extra money. That was sus. I knew it. I knew it. I should have walked out. Why didn't I walk out? Every time I watch a horror movie, I'm like, why didn't they leave? And look at me. Now look where I am. I cannot believe this. This is the most emotional she's been this entire time.
Standing up, Glitch says, I feel like somebody left us on autoplay for 7 hours and now we have no idea of where we are.
The house that had the person in it was the red house, right?
Yes.
So Stay points at it and goes, the person who left us on autoplay isn't there.
Holly? Is it Holly?
That wasn't one of my questions. What? And then I make for the red house.
You all follow into the red house. You open the door, all of the lights are off except for you see what looks like a very faint glow inside what looks like one of the upstairs bedrooms. Like through the crack underneath the door. You can see very dim light pouring through it.
Out of all of us, who looks the least upsetting right now?
Upsetting in what way?
I mean, the
Well,
only
Oh,
human here
because
is Alma, but you're not in a place where humans reside, so I don't know how to answer this question for you.
because I had told the group that my general impression was if Holly suddenly appeared, she would be more dangerous to the inhabitants of these buildings than to let the other way around. So
Mm-hmm.
whoever goes first into the room should be somebody who is like more appeasing, possibly, because if my general sense is that the sentience in this place is under threat, then I don't want to exacerbate that and make it worse because ultimately we do want to get out.
Then is that our hacker who's a smooth operator at a light touch?
Hacker is cold though. Hacker's all intellect and swords. So if we're trying to go for any kind of an emotional connection, then possibly Kithrick would be maybe the way to go. Actually, not sure, not sure.
Also, I
Our
don't think
grifter might
I'm like
also.
inherently upsetting.
Yeah.
um, but our grifter may also be able to engage on a more emotional level as well. So I feel like either of those options make sense to me.
Well, the
Since
decent
I was
judgment.
leading the
I
way,
believe that I am pleasant. In fact, many times when people look upon me, they say, I must be dreaming.
All right, how about you two go upstairs and the two of us will keep an eye on the door in case Holly decides to make a grand entrance. How about that?
since I was going first, I'll open the door and we can kind of take stock from there to see what we're dealing with. Do I need to roll for opening this door?
You do not.
Okay, good.
You open the door to this bedroom. You meet a pastel pink wallpapered bedroom. Uh, every surface and every object in this bedroom very vaguely seems to be changing shape in front of you. When you glance upon it the first time, this room looks like it's a teenager's bedroom. That, like, a 15 or 16 or 17-year-old girl probably sleeps here. And the longer you stare at it, you start noticing that the bed gets longer and wider and seems less overtly childish and more kind of nondescript. Um, a small computer desk starts getting taller and wider. Um, a laptop turns into a desktop. Posters kind of crumple away and disappear. But whenever you blink, it just kind of resets and starts being a teenager's room again. And on the floor, you see a young woman in a black jacket and a white dress leaning over this large white sheet of paper and drawing what seems to be like a very angular map as if by memory, just kind of one line and then another line very sharply, just kind of continuing down this thing, um, as if focusing on something in her mind and attempting to recreate it from memory. And you hear that woman's voice say, I'm not done yet. I need to finish this before we can record the next one. She doesn't turn to face either of you. She just continues drawing the thing.
Do any of us recognize her?
Both of you give me emotions rolls, 1d6 each.
Okay, emotions roll.
I have cut to the feeling.
I want to see stay roll before I do the thing, because it might just be the same.
I have also cut to the feeling.
Yo!
Beautiful.
Hello, the two weirdos are here.
Both of you get one question. One of those questions, I'm beginning to guess what it is. I'm gonna let Kithrick ask first.
Oh, I was going to defer to stay first.
Okay, cool. Stay.
Let me see. Good question.
It can be a question that is not on that list, by the
True.
way.
I am just getting some bearings. Well, I guess the most obvious and immediate question is, who is this person?
What do you know about Carly Rae Jepsen?
As Stay, I think Stay is the sort of music fan who doesn't bother to learn very much about artists. They just fixate on a bop and they really like that bop and they just want that one tune. They just want the tunes. So probably nothing other than the fact that Carly Rae Jepsen's name is Carly Rae Jepsen.
um I will give it to you then that you recognize her voice, and that's how you realize this seems to be Carly Rae Jepsen. Um
I look over at Kithrick. Like, you know when you notice a celebrity in the wild and you're not sure if you're hallucinating? And so you look at your friend like,
yeah.
that's what Stay is doing.
Is that who I think that is?
Yeah.
Kithrick, you have a question.
Yes. Kethrick's question is, regardless of whether or not this person is the real Carly Rae, hey Jepsen, how can I best help them through this experience in a way that keeps them healthy and emotionally whole?
Okay, this is a piece of information that, I mean, both of you all will know both of these things because that is the nature of being in this space. So here's what I will tell you. When Stay nudges you, that's when you realize, oh, yeah, this has to be Carly Rae Jepsen. And then a thing just kind of clicks in your brain. Less like you put two and two together, and more like the universe in this space is telling you these are the circumstances by which you are here. Namely, you just kind of natively figure out that on the day of the So Nice tour, Carly came here purposefully. Whether this is a space that she created or this is a space that she discovered is none of your business. All that matters is that she came here. And that she came here specifically to do whatever is on that sheet of paper, which you still can't glean, because it is in some way in service to this space and to Carly's music. You get the impression that she is genuinely calm and relaxed in this moment and would like to finish whatever this thing is.
We did not mean to interrupt you. We are here to try and keep other things from interrupting you. Please do not mind us.
She turns around and says, "How did you get here?"
Stay says, "Your music flew into a hole."
Well, that's not as weird as everything else, I guess. Are you both okay? This place can be a lot.
At this question, Stay actually looks at Kithrick for the first time as if, oh yeah, maybe I should have checked to see if the others are actually okay.
We're good. This is a very tastefully decorated house. I commend your very good taste in interior design. It seems very cozy here.
Thank you. Although I didn't really do much. And she straightens up, lifts the piece of paper like up into the air, kind of looking at it as like the light from the lamp on one of the tables is kind of pouring through this sheet of paper. And she just kind of mutters to herself, I'm almost done. Just a little while longer. And just kind of gently puts it down on the bed and turns to you all. This
Do we?
is.
Oh, sorry.
I imagine that you all don't really know what this space is. It's only fair I kind of give you the tour, I guess. This is a place that I
You
like to
should
call
not
the
feel
Lighthouse.
obligated to.
I mean, sure, but I mean, you're also not supposed to be here, so at some point I'm gonna need to kick you all out.
We are sorry
So,
about that.
it's
And
fine.
ears droop.
Carly gives you a very warm smile and says, It's fine. People don't typically get lost here, but I sense that you didn't want to be here, so it's not a problem. This is like, you ever want something very, very badly? One of those things that you know you're not supposed to have, but you can never stop thinking about.
Pithrick somewhat guiltily hides the wrist carrying Whitney Ryder's extremely shiny watch behind their back.
This place is the place where that feeling becomes like a kind of energy. It's where all longing comes and goes from. It just kind of speeds down that very long street and then goes wherever it needs to go. I kind of found this place kind of accidentally, really, and every once in a while when I'm struggling with the things that I want, I come here. It's just kind of relaxing mostly. So I guess if you came here for something in particular, I'm not very helpful. But you also seem like you're kind of lost, so.
I am actually going to try and do a discreet check on the other half of the team. Are bad
Yes,
things
please.
happening yet?
Give me a swords roll. 2d6.
Swords, I'm trying to be below. Roll 2d6 below 3. That is 1 success, not cutting to the feeling.
Yeah, no threat seems to be
Okay.
to the rest of your team. Glitch and Alma, you stand by the door, nothing is happening. This is the quietest, dullest, weirdest street you've ever seen in your life, Alma. This is like living in a suburb where no one lives. You are standing on a crossroads in a ghost town. That is the most disconcerting thing about this space, but you're not under attack at all.
I hate this. I hate everything about this. This is not worth 2 million credits.
I would be less weirded out if there were a million ninja here, honestly.
I don't want ninjas either. My God, I just want to
No,
be
no,
home.
you leave them to me.
What?
I would be in
You
my
s-
element.
You say that, Glitch, and the weirdest thing happens. Very briefly, all of a sudden, as if kind of less like they were running from one side of the street to the other, and more like they just kind of appeared and disappeared, you see 2 dozen ninja Naruto run up one side of the crossroads and then just kind of fade away into a line in the middle of the street and just kind of disappear.
Huh.
So that happened.
What
Meanwhile,
did you do?
I'm going to try really hard to not think about wanting. Let's be lo-fi hip-hop beats to chill out to.
meanwhile, back at the bedroom, um, Carly Rae Jepsen looks at you both and goes, "Is there anything that you want?"
I think right now the only thing that Stay wants is for now, everyone now includes Carly Rae Jepsen, to leave. And also for the nasty lady to not bring them back here? Question mark.
I mean, I think we can safely leave Carly here to engage in her creative process in peace as long as we get Holly and make sure that Holly can't come back in here.
Mm.
We
I
should
like
let
to
the
think
artists have their isolation. Carly Rae Jepsen deserves to, if she so wants to, return to the forest, plant some potatoes, and dream peacefully.
that the two weirdos are communicating this to each other with like meaningful nose twitches and like eyebrow raises.
Ear-based body language.
Mm. So I think Stay is going to look at Carly Rae Jepsen and say, "We would like to leave and ensure that no danger can come to this place."
Well, yeah, this place can do that easy. Um, and she points at one of the bedroom windows. And when you all look to the window, and when Glitch and Alma look forward as all of the ninjas disappear, you notice a large brown door appear right in the center of the crossroads. You just go back through there and you'll just get back home.
That wasn't there before. What is going on? This is really nonsense and I'm not here for it. Where is the crazy lady who brought us in here? I shouldn't use the C word. That wasn't nice.
I think we're
The
in.
obsessive lady?
Yeah. The lady who overtipped us. What is that? Who does that?
I think we're in an ontological search engine.
A what?
It's philosophy.
What we ask for, it gives. So
Carly Rae Jepsen snaps her fingers, and Stay and Kithrick, you are now downstairs with everybody else. And she just points at the door and goes, "Right through there, and you'll all get back home."
Okay, where's Holly? Where's Holly?
You say that, and suddenly you hear someone shouting to your right, "Carly, wait for me! I just need to know where the rest of your things are coming from. I just need to learn what you're gonna make next." And you look to that side of the crossroads and you see Holly running at breakneck speed up to the crossroads. And that's when you notice the street seems to be getting longer. It seems like she's never getting close to you. She's always close enough that you get the impression that just a couple more feet and she'd get here, and then she just never gets here. She just keeps running forever. And then Carly taps Kithrick on the shoulder and goes, "You're gonna go home or what?"
If she's coming with us.
I can find a way to send her home too, but that's for y'all.
Oh, it's a special door.
I vote somebody else goes first.
Wouldn't be the first time I've stepped through a completely strange window. Whoop. Step through.
What's on the other side of the door?
Right.
You will learn soon enough.
Okay.
But do we see glitch on the other side of the door, or is it like they just vanished into a pit of nothingness?
Oh no.
You see a burst of neon pink light, and then the door closes again. But when you touch the knob, it can open again freely.
Okay, I open the door. Do I see glitch on the other side of the door?
You see the door?
So I
Oh,
open
this
the
is
door and I see another
weird.
door.
No, well, you open the door and you see just the door standing in the street. You see the other side of the street.
Like
Oh.
an
But that
empty
was how
door
it was when
frame.
you opened it the first time.
Oh, okay. Oh, I don't like that. That's Well, because I cut to the feeling with my fellow weirdo, I feel kind of bad leaving my fellow weirdo behind. So I look I look at Alba and go, "Your turn."
What? Do you like shove me through her? Because she's definitely is considering.
Okay, if you're not going to go through, yeah, I'll try and push you through.
Yeah, she'll probably stumble. She's not very strong.
Okay, cool. There you go.
What?
There is like this brief flash of like gold and silver gradiented light, and then the door closes again.
Brandon, you said that this space responds to wanting.
Mm-hmm.
Kithrick looks out the window at Holly and wants really, really hard. And the road, can I deform this road to trap her into a hamster wheel of road so that she actually sees that she is in this loop? Is this an emotions roll?
In this space, you don't need to do those things. You want it, so it happens. Holly never notices a thing. She just keeps running.
Well, okay, if self-awareness isn't on the table, let's get out of here. And Kithrick opens the door and reaches up and jauntily offers an elbow to stay. The height difference makes this look bad, but
Stay probably in a site that Carly Rae Jepsen wishes to never see again. Squats down to meet Kithrick's height so that they match as they link arms, and one walks and the other waddles through the door.
Two very small bursts of red and green light just kind of pop out from the door, and then the door closes behind you all. Glitch, where is the one place out of every place in the entire universe that you would absolutely positively like to be?
Probably like there's a kitschy cafe that plays at being kitschy but is in fact deeply, deeply earnest. that is run by a trio of 20-somethings who have never managed to do anything else right in their lives. But it turns out that by their powers combined, they can run a pretty awesome computer cafe. And what they have done is they have made a synthwave 80s hacker den that never existed but now does. And that is where Glitch first emerged into the living world.
Nice. You step through the door, and the door that you emerge from is the front door of that cafe. And you sit down and just bask in the ambiance of this space again. Uh, Dwelling in the feeling of being in the place where you were born, essentially. You feel a sense of warmth fall over you and settle in this feeling. Stay. Where is the one place out of everywhere on earth that you would absolutely positively love to be?
Once upon a time, Stay changed their mind and decided they wanted to try out having a meat hand again. So they had a meat hand. But then one of their cons went badly and they lost the meat hand. And the meat hand, they've always wondered where that wound up. Because that extremely treacherous tattoo artist who probably took their meat hand definitely doesn't deserve it. So I want to see where that meat hand is now.
You step through the door, and the door that you come out of is the rusted passenger side door of a pickup truck in a in an old dumpster. Like this weird pile of trash and dirt and things that have been long since discarded. And when you realize that you are here, it dawns on you, oh my god, my hand. Some when that guy took my hand, he might have just thrown it away like it wasn't valuable. Oh my god, how dare you do something to to my precious hand. And the sensation washes over you, so like full of rage and frustration, that you look down at the hands that you have now and you realize, wait a minute, I thought I lost this hand. Isn't this the hand that you look down at your hand and your meat hand is still here? You look down at the floor, and the mechanical hand that had replaced it, covered with weird accoutrement of meat that make it seem like it is still a fleshy hand, is on the floor, rusted and broken and covered in like dirt and stone, as if it had been here all the time and you had never lost this hand at all.
I
And you
poke
look at the
I poke the fallen hand gingerly. I do not want this hand back anymore.
Alma. Where's the place that you would absolutely like to be out of everywhere on Earth?
Home. That's it. She just wants to go home right now. Everything is very weird and wrong, and all she wants is her house.
Do you live at home with anyone?
Nope. She lives alone. Not even a cat, because she's never sure if she is going to be available to take care of a pet. And so she gets her pet love from like cat cafes and dog sitting for friends and stuff like that. But otherwise, she lives alone in uh just a condo.
Mhm. You step through the door, and the door that you emerged from is your bedroom door. If you want to collapse in bed and never have to think about this day ever again, you can just do that. Just plop.
The first thing that she does when she walks into her bedroom is she takes off her jacket. She takes a deep breath. She boots up her computer, and she proceeds to just wreck every trace of Holly that she can quickly find for catharsis. And then she goes and takes a shower and goes to bed. Like if Holly ever tries to log into her email again, it's going to be full of just like every episode of Kamen Rider.
Holly
Everything else is
deserves.
gone. Everything looks the same, but anything that she opens will just start auto-playing an episode of Kamen Rider that she cannot stop.
Oh Lord. You know what it does? It keeps playing that scene of Mr. Kogami singing Happy Birthday ad
Yes.
nauseum anytime she
Every
opens any file.
any file. It's the exact same thing over and over again. And she doesn't know if Holly will ever, and almost not even her real name, but she doesn't even know if Holly will ever escape from that strange extraplanar location that she just fever dreamed into. But if she does, her life is over.
Yeah. Kithrick. Where is the one place out of anywhere on Earth that you would absolutely positively love to be?
On Earth. Okay, so not returning to Lanulos. Maximum mayhem. Maximum sensory input. Kithrick. We find Kithrick in the Chipotle at the Mall of America, eating a burrito bowl, drinking a margarita, as the normal helmet off, as the normal ass humans around and them lose their goddamn shit. The people behind the counter don't care. They've seen it all. The customers are upset though.
And we
and
close
I
on a very
snack my little mandibles with delight.
And we close as the camera pans past Kithrick's margarita out of the front door of the Chipotle as dozens of security guards are running towards the Chipotle and hundreds of mall goers are running for every possible exit. And as we continue panning past them, we pan past the window of a clothing store nearby that has a poster that says, "Returning by popular demand, Carly Rae Jepsen, So Nice Tour, restarting in March." And the camera just continues panning, and when it reaches the front door of, like the very front entrance of Mall of America, you see a very large golden goblet fall from the sky right in front of the Mall of America and shatter into 1,000 pieces. And that's Boy Problems, everyone.
Woo!
I just had to do some weird stuff. I'm sorry. This is the first time that I've listened to more than one Carly Rae Jepsen song ever. But I did it because I love you all.
And also because, like, it's bops all the way down.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you're not wrong. This is delightful, everyone. Thank you so very much for allowing me to do this weird and idle thing with you all. How do you all feel about this game?
That was wild.
I come away.
5 stars, 1 goblin.
Thank you very much for the goblin.
I come away from this with like a relative minimum of feelings about capitalism, and that's a nice relief.
Nice. I'm very glad that I could have given you all this wonderful thing. So, with that being said, I'm gonna give everyone an opportunity to please let all of the lovely people in chat know who you are, what you do, and where people can find you next. Starting with Iori.
Iori Kusano, they, them. You can find me on Twitter at Iori Kusano, at, kusanoiori.com, and you can pre-order my novella, Hybrid Heart, from Neon Hemlock.
And a reminder, of course, if by the time you're seeing this it is still happening, which is most likely the case, that Neon Hemlock has a Kickstarter going on right now for all of the upcoming novellas that are coming up very soon, including Hybrid Heart. So if you want to get your hands on all of those cool books and some other cool stuff, you can check out the Kickstarter as well, which I hope I remember to put in chat so you can find it. But yes, thank you so very much. Next, Jeoi.
Hello, hello, and very soon goodbye, goodbye, my strange viewers and listeners. Yoi Gawain Lin, he, they pronouns, game and fiction writer. Tonight, I have been stay a creep who had insights. Yes.
Indeed. That's still a very impressive role. I'm still very excited that happened. So thank you very much. Next, Valerie.
I'm Valerie Valdes. That is with an S, not a Z. If you are listening later and cannot see my name written down, you can find me at valerievaldes.com. Remain on social media as either Valerie Valdes or Valerie Valdes author, and you can catch my short story "In Time a Weed May Break Stone" in Uncanny Magazine, issue 51.
Ooh. And last but not least, Mike.
Hey everybody, Mike Underwood writing as Michael R. Underwood, they, he pronouns for me. You can find stuff that I'm doing on Twitter at Mike R. Underwood, and you can watch/listen to all the other things Speculate does at speculatesf.com. That's me.
Ooh. And as for me, again, I have been your humble stage manager this evening, Brandon O'Brien, pronouns he, him, or they, them. I am also one of the co-hosts of Speculate alongside Mike and Greg, and you can continue to find out all of the cool things that we do and support those cool things at speculatesf.com and patreon.com/speculate. You can find more about me at The Rising Tides on all social media or on my newsletter, brandonobrien.xyz. But without further ado, it is time for all of us to collapse in our own brains and become pumpkins. Thank you so very much for checking out tonight's Speculate special event on this channel. A reminder again, speculatesf.com, patreon.com/speculate to support all of the cool things that we do here on this channel and in this podcast. If you are listening to us at the moment, we will be giving you more one-shot goodness very, very soon, and all kinds of other lovely RPG content take place on Arvan Eleron's Twitch channel on a regular basis as well, so please keep an eye out on the calendar for other cool things that will be happening very, very soon. But for us, tonight, thank you so very much for joining us for tonight's stream, and I hope that you have a wonderful day, a wonderful weekend, a wonderful week, that we see you all very, very soon. Bye, everyone.
Bye.